You know that feeling, right? Your workday is just this constant battle against a flood of notifications from like a dozen different apps? Well, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dissect this operational chaos that's really come to define modern work, and we'll explore a system that's built from the ground up to bring back clarity and focus.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. In our big rush to adopt all this new tech, all this new AI, we often just make the chaos faster or promise speed, but what we get in reality is a much more fragmented, a much more stressful way of working. And that right there, that's the fundamental challenge we're unpacking.
So, yeah, how did we get here? How did we get to this point? This feeling of being constantly, completely overwhelmed, it's not a personal failure, it's a systemic one. The sources we've looked at call it the decay of the modern workspace, and it has some very specific and probably very familiar symptoms.
I bet this list looks pretty familiar to a lot of you. It's the daily reality, isn't it? Navigating what one source brilliantly calls a Frankenstein's monster of disconnected tools. You've got Slack, Teams, Jira, all screaming for our attention at the exact same time. This constant context switching puts a massive load on our brains, and it leads directly to decision fatigue and, you guessed it, burnout.
But what's the alternative here? It's not about throwing yet another tool onto the pile. No way. It's about adopting a completely different philosophy for how technology should actually be serving us.
And this principle, intelligence with restraint, it really offers a way out. The core idea is that technology should be a stabilizing force, not another source of chaos. So the solution isn't just more tech, it's the right kind of tech, put in place with purpose and with a clear foundational structure. This brings us to this idea of calm tech. Now this is a revolutionary shift away from the whole attention economy that powers pretty much all of our current tools. So instead of a system that's constantly buzzing and fighting for your attention, just imagine a silent, powerful partner. It's all about creating an environment that's designed to support your intention in your focus. Okay, but a philosophy is just an idea, right? Without the right architecture, it doesn't become real. So how do you actually build for calm? Let's take a look at the foundational layer that really brings all of this together. This is OS 3-, and it is so important to understand that this is not just another app on your desktop. Think of it more like the central nervous system for your entire operations. It's an architectural layer that sits above all your existing tools. The sources describe it as the connective tissue that brings order and intelligence to all those fragmented pieces of your digital workspace. So how does it actually work? Well, first, it unifies your systems, creating a single source of truth. Second, it governs the intelligence, all the AI and automation that runs on top of it. And by doing those two things, it drastically reduces what the sources call the fragmentation tax. That's that hidden cost your team pays in focus and efficiency every single time they have to switch context. Now, a system that unifies technology is powerful for sure, but a system that supports the people who are using it, that's revolutionary. And this is where the philosophy gets deeply, deeply human-centric. So, let me introduce you to MindCare AI. This is a personal support application that lives right inside OS3 Dash, and it's designed specifically to help people in high-pressure roles manage their cognitive balance and their workload. And maybe most importantly, it's built entirely on a foundation of trust. The designers draw a very, very hard line here, and this is important. MindCare AI is assistive and supportive. It is not clinical or a form of therapy. Your data is private and owned by you. It is absolutely not employee surveillance. Think of it as a tool for your own self-awareness, not some system for performance scoring. It is a supportive layer for you, not a monitoring tool for your boss. And here's how it actually provides that support. It gives you tools for mental load awareness by looking at objective things like your schedule density, not your emotions. It gives you a completely private space for reflection, support for building healthier routines, and an AI scheduler that's focused on what's realistic, not just what's possible. The whole thing is designed to reduce pressure, not add to it.
Okay, so we've seen the personal support layer, which is amazing. But now let's zoom back out of it and see how this all fits into the complete modular ecosystem that's powered by that same core. This slide really shows the big picture. Just notice how all these different, highly specialized applications all plug into that one central kernel.
This isn't some one-size-fits-all solution. It's a unified system that's built from powerful, distinct modules that all speak the same language. And here's how they create a complete operational view together. Investigator AI is for doing those deep dives, for signal-based due diligence and research. Shield AI provides real-time governance and control over really complex operations, kind of like a digital immune system. And as we've seen, MindCare AI supports the team's cognitive balance. Each module solves a critical business problem, but because they share one kernel, they work together to create this cohesive, intelligent system that separate tools just never could.
So, when you boil it all down, it's a system that's designed to adapt to humans, not force humans to adapt to the system. It gives you a stable, calm foundation that empowers experts to do their absolute best work with less friction and a whole lot more clarity.
And that leaves us with this final question to think about. In a world that is only getting faster and more complex, what really becomes possible when you replace that feeling of constant, fragmented chaos with a genuine sense of operational clarity?